Well, the quarterfinals now set after Switzerland's victory over Colombia. Let's take a look back at the highlights from Vancouver, because there was not a huge amount in this game, but it was a very, very tight one, wasn't it, Carly?
It was tight. We thought it was going to be tight, and this was an early look here. Puerta with a great shot, heading for that upper corner, but goalkeeper makes a really good save on that one.
And here in the 30th minute, Fabian Rieder with a shot and the save from the goalkeeper, Camilo Vargas. What a save.
We talked about this going into extra time, and maybe something would happen. And a little bit did happen, you know. Here we see it hit the bar, and then we saw not long after that this shot. This is quite funny when we see it from a different angle, when we get an idea of how much this football is moving in the air. It's going everywhere. And Gregor Kobel, well, he just gets something in the way.
Just has to get in the way of it.
And this was a good save here. Another good save. Goalkeeper showing up big in this game.
This for me, I mean, I said Xhaka is my player to watch.
Oof.
Not for that. He makes one mistake in the whole game and it nearly cost the game for Switzerland. But
this was the second penalty for Colombia.
You know what, Pien? When you decide to hit them hard, which I fully support, that's how to do it. You know, don't do that. Don't make that little stop halfway. Don't confuse yourself. Just take the run up, hit the ball, you know, and this for me is, I mean...
This is where Switzerland got the advantage.
This is where Switzerland got the advantage, you know, and Gregor Kobel. And this is what you want to do. You want to save one and then hope that your teammates puts them in the back of the net, and they did. Switzerland are through, and congratulations to them.
What a moment as well for Ruben Vargas to score that final penalty for Switzerland, because the pressure on his shoulders as well, knowing that he can send his nation through to a quarterfinals to face Argentina for the first time in such a long time. Those celebrations for him, what a feeling that
Yeah, it's about the composure. It's about you just being cool and knowing exactly what you have to do, because that is the last penalty. If you win, if you score that goal, you know, you're through. So for me, the pressure was high for him, and for him to be so calm, cool and composed and just slots it, you know, in the back of the net was just superb. And to see the celebration there, it just means a lot to them and to the whole team. Like I said, I think they've done enough to be the team to go through for me.
What do you think we learned about this Switzerland team at this stage of the competition?
Just like we've been saying, you know, they do what is needed in order to advance. It's nothing spectacular. You know, they're not giving up, you know, a lot of goals, and they're staying compact. They're staying organized, and you can see the togetherness, I think, of this squad. I think managers doing a really good job of doing what it takes to get to the next level. And they're not going to make it easy for Argentina.
No, I don't think they will. I think they've got good players in that team. I don't expect Switzerland to go win the World Cup. I don't think they have that kind of quality. But as a team and as a group of players, they are very, very strong. You know, there's a couple of injuries. Very, very important players are out for this game, and yet they went on and got the job done. And as I said it before, I can't wait for Saturday, you know, when they meet in Kansas when they meet Argentina, because this is going to be two completely different philosophies and styles of play. So what's gonna take them over, whatever system's going to take them over the line. But this is so very un-Swiss, you know. The Swiss people are so structured and clean and steady. This is beautiful.
I think watching Argentina's previous matches, too, with Cape Verde and today against Egypt, is going to give them a bit of confidence, knowing how many goals they gave up with some of these teams as well.
Yeah, but for me, this Swiss team, every time you watch them, they're a very awkward team to play against. You never know exactly what you're going to get from them.
Yeah.
But from Argentina, we know what we're going to get from them. You know what they're going to try to keep the ball. They have to make sure that Messi is the guy to create the chances and score the goals. But with this team, you never know. They're so compact. They're so tight. They don't give you too many chances. They don't let you have too many of the ball because they like to keep the ball. So that is going to be a very, very good game to watch. Argentina coming through yet again another difficult game, another game where they've been pushed to the limit. How much has Messi played? How much is that taken away from from him mentally, psychologically, physically as well. That's going to be the question as well. How much can he give again to be able to drag this Argentinian team yet again to another quarterfinal or maybe to another semi-final? That's going to be the question. But when you have Messi, I don't know what the guy eats. You know, I don't know what he eats. Every time we think he's finished, he comes up with something spectacular.
But Argentina is very, very complete in the way they play. They attack so well. We see what we're going to see in a minute, how they scored their goals. I said before this game that my worry with Argentina is how they defend. They don't look so solid. The 2 goals they gave away today, for me, should have been prevented. And if there's a team who can take advantage of that, well, I don't think it's Switzerland. I don't think they have that. They can't turn the game over as quickly as Egypt did today, for instance. And I think Argentina will be quite comfortable in their way of playing when they play this Swiss team. But it's not going to be easy for them, absolutely sure.
OK, well, it wasn't easy for Argentina earlier today. Let's have a look at the highlights from the game against Egypt, because, I mean, what a start it was for Egypt in this game. They had such an early goal, Mikel.
Yes.
With this one, just to set the control.
Yes, the cross here from Marwan Atia and the header from Yasser Ibrahim. What a goal that was.
And this, we see a tackle inside the box, and who steps up to take the penalty? Messi. He did miss a penalty in the World Cup before. It happens. It happens. I've missed a couple.
He's human.
He is. So Egypt with the advantage at this point, and then
this is where I'm confused, because we see what happens here. This is brilliant, by the way. I love this run. Look at this confidence. Little nutmeg there.
This is almost
then you take it in.
This is a goal that every coach wants to see.
And then look at this pass here. What a great pass. I think the goalkeeper's a little bit slow to come out. Doesn't matter, because that's a foul.
Yeah,
that is a foul given by VAR. They called that back. That far back confuses me. What's what when we get to VAR.
And this one here, brilliant goal from Zico. Just again, I mean, Egypt, they were very, very good on break today, and I must give them that. You know, here again, we can see the goal here from Romero.
This is the comeback was on.
Yeah, the comeback one here. I mean, just superb.
Yeah, and then, you know, Messi just, again, on another planet, doing what he does best. I think he was unhappy he missed that penalty, and you could just see in his eyes he was not going to let this game slip by.
And this is the moment they won it.
Yeah, Fernandez. I mean, we've talked about a lot of players coming in, chipping in, not just Lionel Messi. And we can see that Fernandez coming in and with that header to get them through, to score that 3rd goal that they needed. And you can see what it means to the greatest player of all time, you know, emotional. He still wants to win the World Cup. Winning it the first time, he still wants to win it again. That's what it means to him.
Let's hear then from Lionel Messi after this game.
Yes, I think it was a relief for everyone because of how the match went, because it's not easy to come back from 2-0, but as I always say, this group never gives up and tries until the end. We were lucky to score Cuti's goal quickly, and we still had time. Hey, we were able to turn it around, and in the 90, it's crazy what this group did today in this qualifier.
The celebrations there at full time with Lionel Messi, and the relief, you could see it on his face as well when they managed to get. No, I think that was definitely translated.
I must say his English is very good.
Anyway, but on Lionel Messi, I mean, could he be getting into double digits now that this tournament is going to be extended for him?
You know, we've seen this player over so many years, and he's done so many brilliant things. But what we learned about him in this World Cup is don't make the GOAT angry. Don't. Because he was angry today. He wanted to do that last 15 minutes. His influence, what he did there was unbelievable. And of course, you feel he's going to score. I was sat next to you watching the game, and I'm texting Jules Breach, who's at the game. I said Messi will score, and then you had to press send, and then 10 seconds later he scored. You just know that, and that's the quality of this player. Is there any better in the world? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I mean, not just the way he played today, and if you watch the game, you can see him running back at some point during the later stages of the game, chasing people down, trying to make sure things happen. He knew he missed the penalty early on in the game, but he wanted to do so much to bring this team again back into where they belong, which is to make sure they qualify for yet another quarterfinal. And you can see here the tears, the emotion is just unbelievable.
I mean,
Look, it wasn't a match that was full of great moments, particular quality or anything like that. But at the end of the day, Switzerland were the team that managed to do the job and see it out on penalties in a really nervy penalty shootout. And really a nervy game overall, where they both had chances and just couldn't seem to do anything with it. Let's take you back to the penalties and the moments really that mattered. Colombia in the end missed 2 penalties. The nerves obviously got to them, but again, is it the story of just not having the cutting edge in front of goal?
Yeah, listen, it's tough at the best of time taking a penalty. The amount of pressure I cannot imagine on this stage with so much at stake, and you have to give credit to anyone who sticks their hand up. We've seen in other games where maybe younger players have been put forward. Obviously, Davinson Sanchez here, vastly experienced. Listen, centre half, I'm not having the stutter step, especially if you're going to take a penalty like that. You know, just go, run, don't slow down. You lose your momentum. Obviously, comes off the crossbar, and then this one, Kaz, again, good height for the keeper, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when the managers make the substitutions throughout the game, you remove a lot of your penalty takers and your attacking players, and unfortunately sometimes these players have to step up. But this guy, he was meant to have started, he was a doubt, went through the injury, but come on, he's arguably one of their best players. And that's where you want your final penalty, your best player to come on and make a confident difference. And he did that, and credit to Switzerland. I think they deserved it, because I think Colombia were upset, because when they look back at the chances that they had and the moments they had, they've only got themselves to blame.
Let's show you guys the big one, really. This was an extra time, quite late on for Campas, Duncan.
Yeah, big opportunity for them, wasn't it? Should have stuck it away. Left foot, good position, long ball, good run. There's a wee mistake with Xhaka in there, and he's got to finish it. Left-footed, he's got to score that, really.
I think that's, Duncan, where I was alluding to, where they've only got themselves to blame. You are gifted a mistake here from Switzerland, absolutely gifted. You're in the ideal position. You have to score that. That cannot be not even on target. You have to score that. That's game over. That's done. You are playing Argentina. They've only got themselves to blame for me.
Listen, we can give Colombia all the credit in the world for the fact they only conceded 1 goal in the tournament. However, they had 94 shots and they only managed to score 5 goals from that.
Yeah, that was a big problem throughout the whole tournament, in games that should have been a lot more comfortable than they were, and for all the good positions and good areas of the pitch that they got into in various games, they never quite had that sort of killer instinct, that cutting edge, or that quality. Sometimes it was a final pass, you know, when someone's in a really good position, just lack that quality at times. And, you know, as I say, they'll be frustrated from that perspective, because they normally are a team that does score a lot of goals. They just haven't been able to show that.
The hardest part of the game is sticking the ball in the net and getting somebody to do that. These teams haven't got that. As you said, 90 shots in the goal, 5 goals, is it? God, I mean, that's some stat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just for Colombia, yeah.
I need you in there to teach them a few things.
In Spanish as well.
Yeah, vamos.
Absolutely.
Vamos, vamos. Listen, Switzerland up next, that they progress and they can have this moment where they sit down and in front of their fans, and I love these moments where they get to just celebrate and live in the moment for a little while, because after not too long, their attention is going to have to turn to Argentina and how they beat them. And after what we saw today, we know how much Argentina can really fight it out when they need to, Joby.
Yeah, of course they can. You know, they've showed the heart of champions really today, but they have looked vulnerable, particularly in, you know, those last couple of games. So there'll be enough there definitely for Switzerland if they can get, you know, we spoke about Manzambi before the game. If he's fit enough to play, that would be a huge boost. But I think getting through this today, this has been a big barrier for Switzerland, you know, this stage of tournaments, and to get through it again with those injuries that they've got without having 2 of their key players starting, absolutely incredible for them, the togetherness, the spirit, you know, and they really had to dig in today and get through it, and they've done that.
This is something that we've done in a few bars in our time as well. You sit down to begin with on the floor, and then after a while you get up and you jump and you dance and you sing with your fans. And you guys commented earlier on about how many Colombian fans were in the stadium today. The Switzerland fans now get a chance to celebrate their team. What a nervy journey, though. I would not have liked to be in that stadium for the majority of the match if I was either fan, actually, Kaz.
To be fair, I mean, when it went to penalties, I think we were all nervous here, because obviously the quality in the game, we wasn't sure who was going to take the penalties and who was going to be the most clinical team. But look, credit, they're through. They clearly will have a game plan. They'll be confident at trying to defend and shut out Argentina. The key thing is what Joby said, Manzambi, get him in. But right now, enjoy the moment and you're through.
OK.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights. We expected this game to be a difficult one to predict. We knew that both teams were coming into this one off the back of really good group stage campaigns and, of course, the round of 32. But, Mikel, Colombia with the first chance.
Yes, it's been a cagey game, Payne, but you can see here, little 1-2 touches here from the Colombian, and a great save here from Gregor Kobel. What a shot from Puerta, but a good save.
Yeah, and again, not many chances here, but Switzerland get an opportunity. Reader with a shot here. Goalkeeper does a nice job of blocking, but yeah, as expected, this game has just been pretty tight.
Yeah, it exploded into live sort of like half an hour, and this is in the 32nd minute. A great shot, but Ruben Vargas does exactly what's expected of him, stops the ball from going in the back of the net.
So goalless at half-time, big second half to come between both sides. And interestingly enough as well, Owen Hargreaves said it in commentary during that first half, it needs a moment of magic. Do you agree?
It does. We haven't had anything yet. I think the game needs a goal. I think both teams are just trying to size each other up. It's been a cagey game. Little chances here and there, but not clear-cut chances. We expect a bit more from both teams. Hopefully we can get it in the second half.
They're teams that play as a unit, don't they? They don't necessarily rely on just one player. But is it going to be one of these games where just that one moment will make the difference?
I think so. I mean, Peter's been wanting, you've been calling extra time and penalties, but maybe we'll see a moment of brilliance. But, Switzerland, I think, first half has just stayed very compact defensively, pretty organized, haven't been a whole lot of chances, but I think, one chance, one moment is all it takes.
It's been very, very contained. And I think we kind of talked about that pre-game, that it was going to be like that. And the prize at the end of this is, of course, a game in Kansas, quarterfinal against Argentina, the world champions. There is so much at stake, and you can see that from those 45 minutes. The players are aware of that. Nobody wants to do that little bit extra, which also has a little an element of risk to create that moment. So let's see what happens in the second game. I think both managers would be very, very happy with what they've seen so far.